Doug, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, my friend? I didn't hit the video was recording. I was wondering why I couldn't show myself. How you doing, Justin?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Nice to
Good.
officially meet you, man.
Awesome, man. Pleasure's mine, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. We're just waiting on Jimmy and his slow butt, but it's all right.
Yeah, that's Big Jimmy for you.
That is. How you been? You doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm awesome, man. God is good. I just got done talking to some elderly folks at a nursing home.
Oh,
It was
okay.
sweet.
Oh,
Yeah, they had a Buckeye
nice.
tailgate, so I got to give a bunch of OHs
Okay.
out.
Okay. Nice.
Yes,
Is
sir.
this you do that kind of stuff often?
So, around the season, we get a lot more
How often you do those?
opportunities. Sorry,
How often
I
do you
couldn't
do
hear you. I'm
those?
sorry. I probably
How often
that
do you
was
do those?
yeah, that was pretty. So I do a lot for schools. As
Uh-huh.
far as a nursing home, that is like once a season, probably once or twice a season. I did
Okay.
one last year. I go talk to a couple of group homes and nursing homes, but not at the football capacity as much.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So you do a lot of public speaking then.
I do a good amount. I do a good amount. It's a blessing to do so. I went to school for communications.
Okay.
Wasn't really good at it growing up. I went to speech classes and all types of therapy. But God is
Wow.
faithful and hard work pays off. So I do public speaking. I want to actually do a little bit more of a profession. I have a DODD business, Department of Developmental Disability. So that's my full time gig. And then I have my
Okay.
nonprofit and some mentoring programs. So yeah, man, God
Wow.
is good.
Wow, that's great, man. Really cool. I love hearing when when you guys can find success. I mean, everybody knows you've had success on the field, but I love to see when you guys can find success in something that's deeper than a game. You know what I mean? So it's like me, man.
Absolutely.
I
I
love I love being able to find something outside of the music industry. You know what I mean? So
There you go. What's that? Well said. Well said. Yeah, it's always good, man, to have a passion to be able to play sports was great, but we all know that that ends. So to
yep.
be able to transition in something meaningful with helping people, it
Mm-hmm.
really gives you a gratifying experience to wake up and do that day in and
That's
day out.
that's dope, man. So
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
a
So,
you have a faith base. Did you were faith based growing up?
oh yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Jesus
Okay.
died on the cross for me. I know I serve a lot of demographics, and
Yeah.
I appreciate what everybody believes, but it is definitely Jesus for me. Yep.
Got
I
you.
was
Got
actually
you.
raised in a Catholic school. My mom still Catholic church. My mom still goes to that church, St. Martin de Porres in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
I went to Catholic schools, and then went just more side of the Christianity side for me. How about
Got you.
yourself?
Um. Speaking of, kind of similar background. Actually, Jimmy and I we met at church.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I my first radio station I worked for was Radio U, and so that's where Jimmy and I met back in like 2001 or
Okay,
something like that.
I love
So
it.
yeah. So I went to Bible college to be a minister. Went to World Changers Bible Institute in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Nice, man. That's
and
real deal.
so yeah. So I was pretty heavily invested um into the church scene. I guess the best way that I think to describe it. And I got married a couple of years ago, and my wife she went to Oral Roberts in Tulsa, and so we just really we have a strong faith base, but
Okay.
we approach it a little differently in the sense of I feel that we have a strong personal relationship with deity, with God, and that's all based on
Beautiful.
an actual relationship and not a following the pack, if you will. You know what I mean? It's not a social thing for us. It's not something we do because everybody else is doing it. It's stuff that we do because it's
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
believe in our
absolutely.
heart. You know what I mean? So, and I can't say that was always the case for me, but now we're at a place where that's where we're at. We do it because it's not because our parents did it. It's not because our friends did it. It's because that's is what's in here. So, and I love living that way better. You know, not just doing it because it's a personal thing. Yeah, it's the best way to say it. It's a personal.
Absolutely. Go to church and to be there one day and leave and not know who God really is. Yeah, that's not it doesn't give you the same experience. But great for you, man. And it's a blessing to be married and have that same accord with your queen.
Yeah.
Agreed, man. Agreed.
You guys don't. You didn't bring the same snakes that you had. You guys had.
Hey,
the same
bro.
Rattler snakes.
Look,
the same Rattler snakes you brought out at the wedding. You guys didn't. You guys did. You put those away, bro. No Rattler snakes, bro. No king cobras.
You want to talk about? So I got you something else you can talk about. My power.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse, buddy. But hey, it is what it is.
You're not messing with the Ninja Turtles?
You know, not on my shirts, nah, on TV.
I ain't mad at you. It's the old nostalgia. It's
you know what I'm saying?
For me.
You know, I'm over here listening to y'all conversation. I'm disappointed that Justin put the snakes up, bro. Damn, bro. Ain't no other way to be a Christian. If he bites you, it's the Lord. If he don't bite you, you know what I'm saying? Or it's the other way around. One of the two. I don't know.
You gotta shake that thing off like you Paul in the Book of Acts. Come on, man. You already know what we do.
I'm just messing, bro. You know I am.
Shake it off, baby. Shake it off. I don't care if you Mariah or Taylor Swift. You still gotta shake it off either way.
Master Doug, what's up, baby?
There you go.
How's it going out there in them?
How you doing?
How's it going out there in those loving streets, bro?
Man, they love you, man. They love you as much as you love them back. So, appreciating the opportunity to get to what we do. So, God is good. He's faithful.
No diggity.
How you doing, King Belle?
I'm always good, baby. I make it that way.
Yeah, well said. You got it.
All day, every day.
All right,
you guys
y'all
ready to knock this out? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here we go. 3, 2. Throwback 105.3 Columbus's Throwback. What up? You're riding home with your homie Justin Luvv, and as always in the building, right around this time, my dog Jimmie Belle. What up, bro?
What's crackalating? How's it going, bro?
It's I'm not Jimmie Belle, but
someday I do have my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt on this week, just kind of make you a little, less
means you can be
less of a Debo.
Yeah, that means you can be 3 Jimmie Bells. What do you got a shirt on that makes you weigh like 75 pounds times 3? That's about me right there.
Yeah, man, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. My body fat percentage is and yo, joining us, my dog Doug Worthington. What up, man?
Man, blessed and highly favored, man. Thanks for having me. It's always an honor to be on here, kicking it with my guy Justin, Jimmy. I'm mad my name is not James, man, so we could be J3 or something. We can have a whole band.
J2
or something like
J2D.
JJD.
J2D, J squared D. We'll figure it out.
J squared. Look, man, let's talk about these Buckeyes, man. It's it's kind of funny because the Thundering Herd had their bye week also this past week, man.
Right.
And, yeah.
It's kind of, I didn't understand fully, but because I didn't take a deep dive into it, but if I understand correctly, and you guys can speak to this a little bit more informed, there's more than one bye week now with the new system. Is that correct?
I don't think so. I don't know for sure. It could be, but with it, I think there's an earlier bye week based upon I think you're right. I think it may be one towards the end or towards the middle. I'm not absolutely sure.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm looking it up right now, but I there's definitely another bye week.
Okay.
And they're getting
That's probably
they're getting these guys ready for a playoff push.
Yeah.
Just with the potential of how long the season can be. And let's get it right, man. You want to have a clean, healthy product on the field, right? We're seeing longer seasons, more media coverage. These guys are in the eyes just that much more with all the accolades and all the opportunities to get paid. So they're gonna break it up a little bit more for sure. So I didn't see the schedule, but I'm pretty sure it's like one in November. We got a November 2nd, 9th, 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that does, like you said, that does make sense though, because the postseason being extended,
Yeah, 12 with the 12 team going from the 14 playoff to the 12 team playoff is definitely going to like Doug said, man, there's a lot of money that's and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's so much, and I know where you're coming from, Doug. It's just the TV money's different now. The TV money for everyone's different now. I don't think it's the NIL money. I don't think it's that thing. I don't think it's even to pay the kids to play money. It may have something to do with it, but it has to do with, if you think about it, before COVID, there were, it's kind of like media. At one time in media, there were 2 or 3 different media outlets to get your information, right? And now with COVID, after COVID, right, there's so many. You got to look and find out where your favorite team is playing now.
Yeah.
Right. It used to be your regular TV. Then it went from regular TV to cable TV. Then it went from cable TV to conference TV with the Big Ten leading. And now it went from conference TV to streaming networks.
Absolutely. And then all these platforms have their own.
Absolutely.
You got NBC has Peacock, and CBS has Paramount Plus. I mean, it's. You have to.
Yeah,
you can't just get
it's
one.
that money. It's that money that they're really, really concerned about. But it does flow into the product. Like, I've always said the college football, the product actually isn't football. It's passion.
There you go.
They're selling passion.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Think about the numbers, Doug, and we always hear this, like, man, you find something to fall back on because this many % of people go to the league. Well, check it out. At one time, that number was dang near the same of the individuals in football and basketball that were graduating with their degrees. It was dang near the same number.
Right.
So as they were shaming kids for leaving early and not being loyal and all of these different things, their excuse for that didn't line up with the percentages and the numbers. So I've always said that the product actually isn't football. The product is passion. How do you get the kids and the passion of them feeling like they're fighting for something? You know what I'm saying? It's their life to put that product on the field, especially college ball. That's exactly what it's about, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and you're actually right, Jimmy. That is their only bye week, so they had a bye pretty early. They don't have any coming in November, but it was an interesting point you brought up as far as the passion. That's why when it comes down to Ohio State University, even tagging "the" upon it, it's just a brand. It's just a way that people symbolize the Ohio State University. That's why we have one of the biggest alumni base, the biggest fan base, the biggest Nike budget, the biggest TV budget, because we have one of the biggest platforms, and happy to be a part of it for sure.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's talk about Marshall Thundering Herd coming in at noon. Now they already have 1 win under their belt. They got 1 loss. I don't know, man. Like, I think that these guys are, we kind of want to be non-conference. We'll get it over, get it out of the way, kind of a thing. But Western Michigan, we thought they would do something. Akron, it is what we thought it would be. But I mean, Marshall's put out guys like Chad Pennington. This guy named, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Randall Moss. I mean, they've had some players, man. And if I understand correctly, every member of their D line is brand new. All those guys are transfers. So this is a different kind of team.
Yeah, Marshall is always. So I'm from Northeast. So I'm from Youngstown, right? And Doug is up. He's from the Northeast, up a little further, up 80 and all. But so coming from Youngstown, we understand the history of Marshall. One, because in that era when it was 1AA, Coach Trussell kind of brought them to the limelight because Coach Trussell was whooping everybody's tail, right? And Marshall was one of those strong programs in 1AA, the same way that Youngstown State was. Marshall's unique because, from a mid-major perspective, they have a base and a tradition and a foundation. A lot of these schools don't. Ohio State does, right? That's why it'll never be about the money. Yeah, you're going to get NIL money and all that other stuff, but bro, all these other kids, bro, they're they're coming to a structured program because they have a dream that they're trying to accomplish and a destination that they're trying to fit. Marshall is super similar. That community, Huntington, listen, bro, Huntington, rough. Listen, I'm from Youngtown, Doug from Buffalo. And I don't know if Doug has ever been in Huntington, but he'd say the same thing I said coming from a rough town. Huntington, rough, bro. And it's always been rough. And but it's a weird rough because it has community and it has pride along with the meth heads, right? And along with all the other people walking around. I told someone today, I said, man, when you go to Huntington, bro, you better prep up and come with a pocket of change. Because you're going to leave everybody every 5 minutes is going to ask you for some. But that stadium is always full. I bet you if you walk through their hall, bro, it's full of NFL guys.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Even this year, last year they had a 1,000-yard rusher who didn't play dang near half the season. He just rushed for over 100 yards and 6 carries against Virginia Tech.
Jimmie, no.
What's that?
Okay, try it again. You were cutting out.
You were spliggity splacketing. Okay, but I was just talking about they're not a program that guys come from. They're a program that has guys all the time. It's through the history. Again, I was talking to when you couldn't hear me. They had a 1,000-yard rusher last year. He didn't play the whole season. He rushed for 100 yards over VT, who's known for defense, or so to speak, known for defense. They got a 100-yard, no, not exactly 100, 93-yard pass catcher. And they've had pass catchers before. They've had quarterbacks before. You mentioned Chad Pennington, his brother's throwing the rock. You know, Mark Zuban, who played a big-time quarterback in baseball, guy that came to Ohio State. He's a West Virginia guy, and his son's, I believe, is at Marshall. So they breed guys, and they get the benefit of being right on that border where they get that true benefit of the Ohio football high school experience.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? They go back and forth. Some guys come over to Huntington from Ohio, and a lot of guys who want to get a little better brand of football, they come over the border from Huntington over to the Ironton area to play that football. So we got a strong component. We got a strong opponent that's coming into the horseshoe.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I actually lived in South Point, Ohio. So right over there by Ironton and Chesapeake and Huntington and all that. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a very blue collar, hard life type area.
Absolutely.
And the people that go there, man, if you're not from around there and you go there on purpose, I think that you're going there with a purpose. You know what I mean? Because Marshall's providing something that not a lot of these schools that aren't in these major markets are providing. Doug, your thoughts?
No, absolutely. You hit on one point as far as that transfer portal. Having most of their talent on the front, the defensive line coming from different schools like Virginia. I think the one defensive end has over like 3.5 sacks, really tearing it up within 2 games. And then you check out what they did against Virginia Tech. I mean, they were down, I think, 14-10 going into half. Virginia Tech did a good job pulling away on the second half, but it showed that they were willing to compete. Jimmie Belle hit it on the head, man. That good old Marshall, that thundering herd, they take that the presence of the city with them on the football field. They are tough-nosed, blue-collar. They're meant to work. So it is going to be an awesome game to see. I think when it came down to the last time that the Buckeyes played, playing in the shoe of having almost a subpar performance, even though they dominated Akron, they really got up for that Western Michigan game. So, to have a week off and to get the bodies rested, I don't know if they need it so, but I think playing at noon, I would love to see, just what type of attitude the guys take, hitting the field and what type of presence they have. But I look for a competitive game. I know Marshall, I've seen a lot of jokes out there from their head coach talking about how fast the Buckeyes are and how those guys can transfer down to Marshall if they don't get enough playing time. But they're going to be able and willing to come in here and at least compete. I know the best wide receiver is a transfer guy from Michigan State. So, him playing against Ohio State definitely helps. So, everybody, when they play Ohio State, I don't care what they did against Virginia Tech. I don't care what they did the one game that they won. They're going to give Ohio State their best shot. And if Ohio State, plays around that first few minutes of playing, they'll make sure they try to make that game interesting.
Are we expecting rust, or are we expecting the guys to come, full on out of the gate, coming off of that bye week?
I do.
I would hope. Yeah,
I do. Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Hey, I would hope that they can appreciate what they put on the film the last time coming out. But again, it's one of those atmospheres that it was almost like the perfect storm. They heard a lot of hecklers the week before talking about, hey, they're number 2. They're coming out playing against Akron the way that they was. They were actually losing against Akron 0-3. But they didn't give up. They gave up one more field goal for the rest of the next 7 quarters. So they came out the way that we expected them to, especially against Western Michigan. I do again say when it comes down to that atmosphere, a home night game. They knew with the lights was on, they knew they was gonna have a little bit more visuals and eyes on TV. And when it comes down to any opponent, they will give Ohio State their best run. The film won't tell the tale, but it's gonna be very, very interesting. What you got, Jimmy?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a benefit to them having a bye week so early. I've always said since spring, one of the reasons I didn't totally agree with the not trying to kind of save Kyle was that you're creating something totally new, right? So our offense is new. We look new. We are super explosive. That's not the problem. It's the consistency that's new, right? So we got a new quarterback. We got a new offensive line, so to speak. Not even so to speak, but in actuality, we got a new offensive coordinator. So everything's new. So I think that's what those two games almost was like a professional preseason, which we normally don't get, right? You normally play a straight 5 or 6 games before that first bye week. Well, we had a two really different contrast of teams. You got the bye week, and then you're going to have another type of contrast of the minimum attitude. You got an Alabama coach. They're polished up, right? They're going to be polished. They're going to be ready. Transfer portal guys, I love them because it makes a good team better faster. It makes a good program more solid, more consistent, right? And that's what you're going to get, Doug. You were totally right. Their defensive line, I think, in the Virginia Tech game had 4 sacks and had 9 to 11 tackle for losses. That means they're making plays, bro. That's not just being a solid team. That means they're out there making plays. So they're moving around, despite what the score said. But what I do believe is that we've had 2 weeks to uncan the first 2 weeks with a very new system, understand exactly what you have in your system, and then implement and go forward in the implementation of what you want to do going into the Big Ten season. Because even though the Big Ten season starts next week, I think it actually starts this week because we don't have time for another test week. I think that's what the bye week so early did for us. That test week was kind of going into bowl practice last week. This week, bro, we're gone. Like it's a marathon or a steeplechase from here on out. So I think we're going to be consistent. I think they're going to make some plays because they obviously, in some way, shape, or form, they're very active up front. That's our challenge. I don't think that's not going to be a challenge, but I still think we're going to be explosive. I think the defense is exactly what we hoped it to be in year 3. I think we are legitimately the best. We don't only make plays, which we do, but we've shown to be solid. And normally we're one of the other. Last year we were solid. Back when Shiano was a coach, we made big plays. Well, this year we seem to be very solid, and we're making big plays at the same time.
You guys,
can you still hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's on your end, big dog.
No, here we go.
I think it's the shirt.
Different vibe, the different vibe on the field from a night game to a noon game. I mean, speak to the difference between those type of games in the locker room and on the field?
I think for me personally, I prefer a noon game. To wake up in the morning, to get your breakfast, to make the main thing the main thing. Jimmy will tell you when you have to play a night game, you have to wake up the same time almost. You get breakfast, and then everything is a little bit chopped up. You might have an extra meeting. You might go get some treatment if you need some. You got to like kind of wait around all day. So for me, it's like, hey, get me up in the morning. Let's have our little walkthrough. Let's go get some food. Let's go to chapel, and let's go walk around to the skull session and get ready to play at noon. So I'm excited for the noon game. It do have a different allure when it comes down to those night games because the eyes on you, you're under the lights, a different type of chill, a different type of vibe. But when you're playing up front, it's like, hey, mano y mano, I'm going to hit you in the mouth before you hit me in the mouth, so I'd rather do it bright and early.
Yeah, great observation. I call it business versus ego. When you going about business, you just want to get it out the way. Literally, you just want to get it up in the morning, handle your business, get out the way. But that ego, especially at Ohio State, that night game is, we used to call it get that money, right?
Money.
Because whenever you get an opportunity to show whether it was a team, whether you went to play at a particular place or a particular atmosphere, like you talked about earlier, there's going to be a little bit more eyes or opportunity. And the night games were that. Now, Doug, you guys, I think, participated in them more regularly, even though they're not regular. We participated in them every so often, bro. This is what's so crazy about the night games. I think by the time you were there, Doug, I think they had already put in the permanent lighting. When I was there,
they had a rent. They had it probably.
There you go. So we were still in the game, right?
That part, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So Justin at Ohio State,
they didn't want to make that change for sure.
Yeah. So at Ohio State, in our era, night games weren't as prolific. I think we did one or two of them a year, if that, bro. Maybe one, maybe two. Matter of fact, we probably did one night game and then afternoon game that kind of went into the evening. So you had to have the lights. So just in the stadium, the old stadium didn't have lights before the renovation at all. They had them. They were up there, but I don't think they worked. So they didn't. I think in '92 or '93 is when they started to implement at least the one night game. Well, like Doug said, they literally brought in portable lights to light the field.
Crazy.
Wow. Right? It's extremely crazy considering it's one of the biggest stadiums in the world.
Yeah.
So you gotta light that thing. You know what I'm saying? And then they took them out, and I think at some point they left them there. They were still portable, but they left them there. But obviously now that they have the permanent one. So yeah. But again, the same thing, bro. Even the crowd, they love the night games. The fans, they love bro, they more liquored up. You know how you do.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Jay, you can tell when you on the wheels of steel. You know what I'm saying? You can feel your fingers a little more liquored up. I'm just messing with you. I know you don't drink, bro. I'm teasing.
Oh, this coffee. Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. Before we get into predictions, Jimmie put us on Heisman alert for Will Howard. Your thoughts?
Will Howard Heisman alert.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot. Will Howard, excuse me, coming into the season, I think was maybe like 700 odds. He was like ranked third. And knowing his weapons, and obviously with Ryan Day, if he's not playing, calling plays, he's still at the helm. He has a plethora of opportunity to get that. So he's been very, very solid the last few weeks. I mean, the first game against Akron, I believe I will call him the MVP of the game. I mean, obviously he made that freshman look really well, but what he did in the pocket, how he showed what he can do with his feet, and then the next week he backed it up. So he's a consistent older player, and when it comes down to putting up some points, I think like a game like going against these good old Thundering Herd, and then next week you start the Big Ten play with Michigan State. I think their defense is not the greatest. I know the Marshall Herd is about 116 in the country. So you give Will Howard an opportunity to really click. And I know those other guys like the Ennises and Ijigbas and things of that nature are trying to get some of those touches as Jeremiah Smith is. So he has a hungry wide receiver room. And when it comes down to the plethora of people out the backfield that he can toss it to or, set up a screen, he can definitely get some numbers very, very fast.
Yeah. He's going to be Heisman just off of, again, room. I didn't say win it, but he's going to be in the room off of numbers. And I think it's going to come down to the end, right? It's going to come down to who, like, if you really look at the Heisman room, there's a few years where the Heisman guy is obvious. There's a few times when the Heisman room is obvious. Otherwise, they're just filling the room. You see what I'm saying? Last year, I think last year was a room filler, right? And Daniels from LSU won it because it was a room filler. A couple other years, you've had some incredible battles, bro. It's just remarkable. Then you have some incredible players. I think this year it's going to come down to the very end, who's winning, who has the numbers. I don't think you have any front runner per se right now, except for numbers. Like, for instance, Kyle McCord is almost over 500 or 600 yards passing right now. And that's what the Heisman committee looks at. It doesn't even mean necessarily he's the best. It's just they're looking at his numbers, right?
Those numbers,
but I think Kyle's is going to come down to the end of things. Hey, you know what? It may be a year that we finally get someone else aside from a quarterback. And normally they might as well just switch it up and say the quarterback award. That's really what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're not trying to give it to the best guy. They're trying to give it to the best quarterback on the best team.
Yep.
I agree. So speaking of numbers, let's do it. JB, your prediction.
Let the young buck go first. Doug, you go first. What's your prediction?
Well, yeah, man. So again, I kind of came off my horse really, really fast when it came to that first prediction, and I was completely off. So I actually go look at Vegas and kind of educate myself. So the Thundering Herd is a 39.5-point underdogs. So that means Ohio State has to beat them by 40 in order to cover that. So for me, I am going to actually go with the Vegas odds. I'm going to actually say 52, and I'm going to give the Thundering Herd a measly field goal and go 52-3 Ohio State.
2-3. All right.
Okay. Leah, Pizza Man, you want to go next?
I was going to give you the pleasure, since you're the one with. All right, never mind. Yeah. I still don't think that Buckeyes are going to allow a touchdown. I see 3 field goals. I got it 50-9.
You said what's that? 50 to what?
50-9.
So mine is 40-9.
There you go.
I think it's 40-9. I think it could go. The defense can be better than I think and go less. I don't think it's going to go more than 9, but I think Ohio State could score more. But I'm going to stick with 40-9. I just have to, bro. When I went and studied that Virginia Tech game, and listen, there's 2 teams. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, that I would never bet on Virginia Tech and LSU. They always have great talent, and they're 2 of the most disappointing teams every single year according to their talent. So I was pleasantly surprised when I went to and saw that 30-something to I think 14 victory they had, but the defensive line of Marshall ate. Like, they literally ate. Yeah. And not only did they have a couple, more than a couple sacks, but they had not 9 or more tackle for loss. I said, oh, geez, they was pounding Virginia Tech a little bit. So with our inconsistency up front, I think our explosiveness is going to do what the explosiveness is going to do. But if we don't come out and dominate that defensive line, it's obvious that they put pressure on making plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We got Dougie Doug
52-3, JB 40-9, J Love 50-9. Dougie Doug,
JB doing your thing again at Gala Park this Saturday, right?
Absolutely.
Dougie
Doug, who got the best chicken fingers on Saturday afternoon tailgating, bro?
Man, amazing. And they're only $8. I mean, I think that they are definitely, throwing us a favor and allowing our neighbors to have some fun. But Like you said, the atmosphere, Gallup Park, beautiful place to be. We got a great production team. Jimmie Belle hosts it and hold it down well. We always have some friends and family there too. So it is a great time. If anybody's hearing us, please step out. If you're not going to the game, it's a great environment. We have burgers on sale for $8. We have chicken fingers on sale for $8. And there's one more thing I'm missing. And they have drink specials and buckets and things of that nature. So it's due for a great time. The doors open, I believe, at 11:30. We'll be there at 11. So come out, have fun, and let's talk about some football and watch some football together.
That couldn't have said it better.
That's what's up. Now, y'all missed the most important part about that event, though. Saturday is my birthday. So what y'all doing for you, homie?
We'll
Happy
preserve
birthday.
You a chicken finger.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, man, we'll get you a cake, man. UDF right there. We'll get you a cake. We'll do. They got. What you like? Ice cream cake? We'll hook you up, brother. We're gonna do more than just a chicken nugget.
Hey, you know you eat cake if you know UDF has cake. Now you know.
Man, they got the ice cream cake. Why are you playing with UDF?
Oh,
UDF and that ice cream now.
I'm slipping. I do it. Yeah. Hey, Justin, how old you gonna be, bro? You gonna be like 44?
Wow, 46.
Okay.
Go.
I was in the arena.
Good with the numbers.
I was in the arena. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate it.
Last day being 43, man. Enjoy that too.
I enjoyed that a few years ago, but we won't talk about that. That's all right. All right, man. All right, we are good, y'all. Hey, real talk though, real question. Me and wife, you're gonna try and go to the game. Y'all got any suggestions on where to hit up tickets?
I don't, but I can look for them only because I know there's always fellas. Doug, and you've probably experienced this with the fellas. The fellas always buy their tickets to sell them, but it's kind of like the streets. You can find a product to sell all day, but you have the clientele to sell them. So what ends up happening is the fellas be having thoughts of grandeur of selling their tickets, and at the last minute they just be, you know what I'm saying, they want to sell them. So if you give me a day between today and tomorrow, I could probably connect you with some people that need to get rid of their tickets.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up. I actually have mine. I was gonna give mine to my client, but I don't think one of my clients can go to the game. So I probably have mine. So I can let you know within the next few hours. I got a pretty good seat. So
there you go.
You let me know. Yeah,
there you go, birthday boy. Jimmy, now I see why you tell everybody your birthday is every weekend.
You're going right. You think I'm playing? Only comes once a year, baby.
Everything for you is once a week during Buckeye season. Hey man, every time, Doug, I'm telling you, go back and listen to our other. Hey man, it's my birthday. Guess what Saturday is?
It's my birthday.
Guess what Saturday
again, bro, is so old.
Guess what Saturday is? Oh, bro, I got your meal. Oh, thank you, bro. Oh, I got your tickets. Oh,
right. Get that hibachi. Yeah, you dang all right.
Hey, bro, I got your mortgage payment. Oh, bro, you the guy. That's how Jay lives, bro. He has a birthday every week. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. If y'all need me, hit me up. Dougie Doug, I'll see you on Saturday, baby.
Yes, sir, King. I'm looking forward to it.
No doubt. Awesome.
All right, brother.